Hi Sagittarius, this is Heather, the medium on mission, and I am bringing you your October forecast. Excuse me. So this is for the sun, moon, and rising signs of Sagittarius, and I wasn't intending on doing your reading next, but I was just in a meditation and I got some visuals and some information from Spirit, so it looks like you guys are going next. And whenever I sort of tune in to any sort of message for the sign that I'm going to be doing next, I get Spirit will give me kind of a word that's significant. And I got the word blessed. And so I feel like there's just this feeling of really sort of looking at your life and seeing, the blessings that have come about and the blessings that have come about from the negative events that may have occurred in the past. And so, or just even in general, just how things have sort of gone in a certain way, and how we probably couldn't have written that in a better way, but it just all sort of worked out. So that's kind of the feeling and the vibe that I'm getting for October for you, Sagittarius. So I'm not sure what that, if that resonates, but we'll dig more into the message and see what Spirit has to say. So a couple things, just to kind of talk about the energies that I'm getting. So obviously we just had the new moon in Libra that's coming, and that's really, to me, around kind of what are some of the, where are the directions that we're going in life, and kind of what is the purpose, what are some of the things that we are going to be doing. Libra is really kind of that sign of I look at it as being like partnerships, right? And so that's where we really, it's kind of going into that, like what is my purpose in this world? How can I help others? And it's really, that's kind of the energy I get from that. And again, I'll provide the disclaimer. I read cards very differently. I do everything different. And so I'm just telling you the energy that I'm getting as it relates to what's coming in. And so you might read somewhere that's contradicting what I'm getting, but that's what I'm feeling. But generally speaking, my guides and Spirit will give me all the information that I need. And I always kind of find it fascinating that the effects that I've been feeling, like I've been saying for a while, there's something big about October, November, and then I feel really good about 2020. And somebody just sent me something today that kind of confirms that there's almost exactly what, I know it's not just me, I know other people have been feeling it as well, but exactly what I've been feeling. There's something about October being kind of the start, if you will. Now, some people, depending on where you're at, you might already be in the thick of it, but there's something about this that is causing this sort of shift to occur, and it's only going to increase to where 2020, I just feel like it's going to be a very different year for many people. I feel like, and you could feel there's something about the undertones or the undercurrents right now. I had to look because I was like, are we in Mercury retrograde? I know we're not. I would have heard about it. We are in kind of the pre-retrograde phase, or it's coming in for October. We'll feel some of that. But I'm telling you, there's something to where it's like the communication is amiss, but it's in a playful way. It's not in like sometimes I feel like when retrograde, it's in a way that it's like annoying. But I don't feel like I feel like there's an element of grace and acceptance of kind of these shifts that are occurring in the communications, and just kind of that undertone of what's going on right now. So again, it feels positive. It feels like we're shifting things out of our lives. For some of you who do not like change, you're probably not feeling very good right now about the situation. Some of you that have been waiting for change, there's still, even if you are someone, I like change, but even me, sometimes it's like, oh crap, here we go. Because it's not so much me, but it's the world around me and how it reacts. If something changes in my life, being a mom, being a wife, being an employee, being, I serve the community in any way that I can, through the schools and stuff like that. And those are the type of things where if something shifts with me, it impacts everyone. There's a ripple. And so anyone who does anything, there's a ripple. We all, whenever we make a change in life, we generally create a ripple that affects other people. But I believe and know to be true, as I've, deepened my connection with Spirit, that it's all for the highest and greatest good. It's like when one door closes to one thing, it turns out better. There's always better things that come about. We just don't always see it at the time. So that's what's going on with that. We do have the full moon in Aries on October 13th. And it's funny because keep telling myself October 13th, there's been something about that as well. And I didn't know the dates in advance of when the full moon is, and when I found that out, I thought that was kind of funny. So that there's something that's kind of around identity and partnership. So again, I feel like this is all sort of elements. If you take an object, it's all elements of those kind of like how we contribute to the world, and then our identity versus how we relate to others. And okay, now we know who we are and what we're doing. How are we going to do that? How are we going to take that gift and interact with the rest of the world? And are we doing it solo? Or are we doing it with other people? And so that's kind of what I get around that. It's kind of fascinating. I've always really sort of trusted Spirit in the message they've given. Even though I did kind of tarot from a young deck and oracle, I never really read the books. I'm kind of ADD, I think, about it. I always tend to do things backwards. I'll even read magazines backwards. I do it my way. And so I feel like sometimes like I don't always align to what like kind of the group think or what the standard is. And so sometimes even when I communicate, I think I speak past people, but it's the energy. I've always been more of the energy of what I'm feeling around the situation. So Spirit has been prompting me, and this message obviously is for you because I feel the need to communicate it. Do it your way. It's about doing it your way, not the way that society tells you to do it, not the way that the books tell you to do it. Your guides, your spirit guides, Spirit will always be your greatest guidance in terms of what you should be doing. So I would just encourage you to don't try, be the outlier. Don't try to go with the flow and fit in, so to speak. Be your own person. And for me, I know that's one of my biggest things, that it's because that's disruptive, right? It's disruptive to your community, your family, the people around you. They don't know how to interact. Well, here's an outlier. What do we do? We're not usually, this is sort of an alien situation here. So, but oh well, let the world have to respond to you in the way that you show up. And so whatever that looks like. So for whatever reason, I felt the need to explain that. Sometimes Spirit will sort of jump in and take over, and so I just have to give them the floor, and so bear with me on that. With that being said, I'll explain my process and the way that I'm going to do things here. So I'm providing a little bit more expanded readings this month, just because I'm just letting Spirit guide me, and we're kind of in this dance together. So they gave me the instructions here. So they were insistent that I use this Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, so I'll be using that. I'll do, just like in the past, I'll do body, mind, and spirit, and then I'll wrap it up with an affirmation card. But I'll be using in kind of the three sequence here, energy cards here, and then I'll be using the Good Tarot card. So I'll pull one of each of these for each one of the areas that I'll be focusing on, and then I'll also be using my cards here, the When Spirit Speaks. And so I'll include the link to all of these cards, and if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave a comment or reach out to me personally. I will also be using these cards. These are super cute. I just got them on Amazon. I'm so excited. I'll include the link. These ones are just a little fun. I've been seeing a lot of unicorns like images lately, and it's been coming up a lot with Spirit, so I was prompted to get these. And I feel like with Halloween and the kind of fun energy of being able to dress up and being whatever you want. If you want to be a unicorn, be a unicorn. So we're going to use those as well. And then these ones, I have not used these. I was actually waiting. I feel like, I was so excited to do Halloween themed because it's, Spirit, and we can talk about those things, and it's not just one day event, and it's like, I want to use the whole month is about this. And so I wanted to get some tarot cards that were kind of embody Halloween, and here you go, the Halloween tarot. So they were unfortunately running a little late, and so the other couple videos, Taurus, Libra, and Gemini, I did not use these, but I'm going to be using them for the rest, and so I'm super excited about that. And I'll probably be doing a full moon reading later on this month, potentially, for the elements and pulling those in as well. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into your reading, and I'm excited to see what Spirit has to say. I'm super excited. All right. Okay, Spirit, what messages do you have for Sagittarius for the month of October as it relates to the physical body, the 3D, what's going on in the world at this time? And so my intention, just so you're all aware, I always set an intent before my readings, and my intentions was for Spirit to be able to identify some of the energies that have been shifting out of your space or that might be coming into your space. So I'm going to be doing with two kind of sets of people here. There's going to be the people that are just sort of on the cusp of it, that are going into it, and this is a preview of what's coming. and others that this is just going to be more validation for you of what you've been going through or what's going to be happening. So you're gonna know that which one you are. And some of you, it may not resonate at all. And if that's the case, then it's definitely not your reading, but do check out one of your sun, moon, or rising sign, because there may be a message there as well. All right, so as I was sort of tuning in, when I was in my meditation, this older female had come into the picture, and it's weird because she was showing me her writing a letter, and it felt like a grandmother energy. It felt like she was quite old. She came forward as, it's almost like a very old, wise woman energy came forward, and it's like she was writing a letter. It was almost like a memoir or like something, but it felt like, it's like, I want to leave this legacy. There's something that I need to write so that it can be received by others. And so I'm not sure what that was, but then immediately I was also shown an image of a woman. It's like in a wedding dress, and it's kind of funny, really weird and random, but I'm just going to give it to you. She was wearing this, it felt like almost one of those runaway brides. She was in a beautiful, white dress, but she was jumping on a school bus. So I'm not sure what that means. I'm not going to put a lot of effort in interpreting it, because it was very raw and like whenever I get those flashes, I'm just going to give it. And so but I do feel like there's some element of sort of the love and romance to this month, and kind of that passion and running away with kind of the passions of and it's not, sometimes we think about love as being romantic love, but I also feel like it's kind of this love of, like, think about this old woman who came forward, and it's like she's writing, it's her passion, her story is her passion, and that's her love, and it's being able to share that with the world. And it just feels very deep. It feels like this message is multifaceted for different people, but there's something very sweet about also just feeling okay with knowing that part of your gift to this world is how you show up for others, and it's about being in that space of love and others receiving of that as well. So when you shine your light and you align with what your passions are and your true loves are, then the rest of the world benefits from that. And so again, this might be a situation where someone, they're not necessarily concerned about love, that that's not always their top focus. It's more about the way they show up in this world, and that's okay as well. I think sometimes in society it's like, are you married yet? How old are you? You should be married yet. Oh, you've been dating for this long? Are you married yet? And I feel like some of you, it's like, look, that's just not a priority for me. I'm doing me right now, and that's okay. And so Spirit's just wanting you to know that this is like, whatever way you show up to love in this world, that's okay. And so don't feel like you have to do it through the lens of society or the pressure from others. However you show up is how you show up. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards here. I'm gonna been shuffling. I shuffled off the camera, and I'm gonna do a little bit more over here as well and see what Spirit has to say. Spirit, what messages do you have for Sagittarius from a physical body perspective? For the 3D, what's going on in their 3D world? What has been passed in their 3D world that they need to validate in terms of the experience for October. For some reason I said August. I don't know. There might be a significance there. Okay. Some of you may have started to see some of this experience from August as well. All right. Perfect. So this one's coming out. Okay. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So card 36. And so this also came up for, I can't remember which sign it was. Came up for another sign as well, but this is basically around the sacral area, and this is kind of those relationships. Oh wow, that's it's exactly what I was just mentioning about the relationships, and the second chakra is your sacral chakra, and that's really how we sort of show up in the relationships that we have, and defining of what those looks like. And it doesn't have to be sexual relationships. It could be the relationships that you have with others. Whenever I see kind of the bright red, Spirit's always that it's kind of that reddish orange. It's like, the red is your root, but the orange gets more into it's like, and depending on the intensity, if it's redder, then it's more of your kind of place in the way that you're connected with others, and how it really just is. I can't say it any different than I already said it. It's exactly what Spirit was giving me in terms of being in that space of trying to kind of find how you interact with others and being okay with that. And so maybe your love is more of just to be present around, but to really love yourself first and really give yourself of that love and energy, and not necessarily worry about others and how the world will react to that. So let me keep going here. We'll pull another one. All right. And there's also something significant here too, and I said this on the other reading because it just keeps popping out to me, is this, there's a female here that has it's like a daughter or a child, and it's almost like, you know, coming into this world with that connection and having that, and it's, again, it feels like this child or this person is very much about trying to, it's like showing you how to love on a different level, or what that means, or defining of those boundaries of love. And this might be a relationship that you have with your mother. This might be a relationship you have with your daughter. But it does feel a very female relationship, which explains why a grandmother energy came forward, because I feel like this has to do a lot with like, almost like the ancestral aspect of it in females. And there's a strong divine feminine energy in this reading about the way that we show up as women and what's expected of us. Oh, as I'm saying that, I'm just getting I just got a huge like shot of energy to me right now, that yes, that's exactly, someone desperately needs to hear that, and knowing that like it's okay to be that feminine energy and step into your power, but not have to do it on other people's terms. Us women are changing, we're shifting, we're not who we were years ago. Our grandmothers and great grandmothers had a very different existence than we have today, and we're fortunate for it. We live in a time where we can be more expressive of who we are, and it feels like it goes back to the Salem witch. For some reason that energy just popped up. Some of you might have ancestral connections to that. That's coming in very, very strong right now, and it's the feeling of the persecution of being who we were, and so we sort of tucked back into ourselves for a while, but now we're coming back out again, and we don't care. There's no apologies to it, so it feels very strong around that. So let's pull another card and see what Spirit has to say here. All right. What other messages do you have for Sagittarius from a physical body perspective? Okay, this one just popped out, so I'm taking this. Oh, wow. Fortune's Wheel. Okay. Oh, I love it. So it really it feels like it just really goes in line with everything that I'm feeling in terms of the energies and the chakras, and you can kind of see the Fortune's Wheel with the card 10. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, card 9, 3, and 6 is 9, and then you've got the card 10, and this, again, you have the hearts connected in here as well, and it's almost like this sort of peering through. Oh, wow. Oh, I love it when it's amazing. I'm sorry, I just get a little excited sometimes when Spirit just gives me this massive download of kind of what messages need to come up, and it just comes up in the cards. I love it. I love Spirit. And so I very much get this female energy, this grandmother energy that I was talking about, the ancestrals. It's almost like they're looking through at you, and it's like they're giving you a lot of they're giving you support. Like, it's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune here, right? You can do and be anything in this life. You don't have to be limited by what they were limited by, but they have so much support for you. So again, I feel a lot of feminine energy, and there's something about this rise of feminine that is coming through really strong in this reading. And even if you're listening and you're male, that doesn't matter. There's something about you stepping into, I think as in society, again, men have to be strong, they have to be assertive, they have to be this, and this. And it's about stepping into that feminine aspect, but also doing it in a way that you don't. Sometimes if a woman is very strong, she's called a bitch, and that's wrong too. Like, that's not, why does that have to be that way? You can be assertive but be feminine and have a balance of the yin and yang. And so this really feels very much strong for that, but the feminine energy is really popping up big time in this reading to give you the support and say, you know what, we've got your back. We're here to support you. So this is amazing reading. I can see why Spirit was pushing me on this reading right away. I'm like, oh, I love it. Good way to start things off for the day. You guys are the first one I'm having for the day, the first reading I'm doing today. So I do have to stagger these readings out quite a bit because there's a lot going on in terms of, it's actually my daughter's birthday today, so we're going to be doing some celebrations later, and I just wanted to make sure to get something out here. So, all right, perfect. All right, so let's see, Spirit, what messages do you have for Sagittarius from a physical? Oh, wow, everything just fell. Okay, let me pull these back here. That's all right. Let me do that. That's the intense energy. There's some energy that's in here that's really intense. It's a positive, though. I feel good about it. I do. It's just really wanting to get out the message for you, and the love that's coming forward as well. That's just really surrounding this message quite a bit. What messages do you have? Okay. Oh, yeah. There you go. Boom. Release. Okay. That's the fire. You guys are a fire sign. This is all part of that releasing what no longer serves you, stepping into this space. Look at this. The orange, I love Spirit. What was it's like she's got this red hair. The second chakra is that bright orangish red, and exactly what showed up here. It's amazing. I love this. I could not. Oh, I'm just in love with Spirit. And I'm in love with your reading and what Spirit has to say for you. They clearly wanted to get you a very clear message this month because it's coming forward, no doubt. Yeah, and so this, I think it's self-explanatory here. You're releasing these sort of ancestral ties from the past and these burdens from the past, and you are stepping into this sort of divine feminine that is just, I am woman, hear me roar, and I make no apologies for it. So, all right, we'll keep going here, and we will check in with what's on the mind from a spiritual perspective for Sagittarius for the month of October. What's going on in the mind space for Sagittarius at this time? And I'm just going to pull, well, no, let me honor what Spirit wants me to do here. I'll keep going on these. Okay. All right, Angel of Love. Okay. And so, again, this feeling of connection, of love. And so you can see she's kind of looking down at this love and you defining of what love looks like for you. So I feel like this has been on the mind. It's coming up in the mind space, and it's definitely what's coming up here. It's quite beautiful, actually. And again, this is the feeling of love and how you define love in this life. What does that look like for you? It looks like something different for everyone. Some people, love is having a physical partner sitting right next to them to support them and speaking their love language. Some people, it's about the way you show up in this world. Some people, it's about how others are sort of, how your interaction with others. And so it can be a number of things to a number of people, but that's definitely what's on the mind. And so that's validated here through this card as well. Let's see what Spirit has, what other messages they have in terms of the mind space. What are some of the things that are going on in terms of the mind? I do feel, as I'm saying that, I do feel like a male energy as well. I feel like there might be a male that's coming forward. It feels like it might be a father type energy, and this not necessarily feeling like he's passed. I have to say that there's something significant about the male relationship that you've had in this life that may have caused some sort of interesting dynamics as it relates to relationships. And maybe sometimes, our fathers teach us how to love another person, and so sometimes if that's not of the highest function, or if there's some dynamics that need to be healed through there, that will pop out. And so I'm getting that very strongly, like I just got a very strong hit again. So just, that may resonate for some of you, but not sure. So let me do one more here. All right. Okay, so that's call. Is it call? It looks like. And so that's card 20. And let's see here. Let me just sort of tune in and see. Okay, got it. And this makes me feel this, when I connect with this card and when I'm hearing from my spirit sign, it's really about, or for my spirits, it's really about bringing in that energy of spirit and being in that space and being comfortable with it. So that's really what I get strongly for that card there. Let me pull here. And Spirit's also telling me here with their significance with the card 20. A lot of times, like, you get 222, there's partnerships there, and there's something significant to this being just the 20. So it's the feeling of being in that space of love without necessarily having a reciprocation on the other side. So I just want to acknowledge that as well. There's something significant to that. Just sort of letting Spirit give me more information as I pull the cards and shuffle here, and see what else they have to say. All right, Spirit, what other messages do you have in terms of the mind for Sagittarius? Okay, so this is the Earth sign. This is, so Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. There may be that relationship that's with an individual that's there. So again, this might be connected back here, but I also feel like there's a male energy that's influential here. So you might have a male in your life. This could be your father. Your father could be the Earth sign that's relative here. This could be but I do feel a masculine energy. Again, it can be a female that has a strong masculine energy, but that's the energy that's coming forward right now. So again, labels and male, female, those are kind of, to me, they're human. Like we've humanized the labels to them. I get the energy. That's the energy I feel. And so I don't, when we're in Spirit, we don't have sexes per se. So we're not a male or female. We just are. But there's energy that's attached to them. So I can't overemphasize that enough. I think sometimes people think that like we go to Spirit with our genitals. That's not, our genitals don't define us. I just want to, for whatever reason, I feel like I need to say that. It's really about the energy that we carry. They just so happen to be something that we use in the human form in which to procreate. So apologies if that was a little too graphic, but for whatever reason, I feel like I needed to emphasize that. So it's very much, I do feel a strong energy of a masculine connected here, but it feels like it's all going in space with this. And so you might be in a situation too where you're actually in that sort of runaway. You're moving away from a relationship that no longer serves you. You're redefining it. There's something around here as well. I just feel like we're really strong about that. So all right, let's see what Spirit has to say. I think your messages have been beautiful so far. I love how Spirit shows up in so many things. But I'm really feeling it on your reading, so it's amazing here. So, all right, let's keep going, see what Spirit has to say for Sagittarius. Spirit, what messages do you have to give to, okay, that one just popped out, so I'm going to take it. Door to value. All right, perfect. Can you see that? Yep, there we go. So, door to value. And so I'm going to keep going on the other two because I feel like I'm getting some hits on that, but I want to make sure that that I pull in the full message here. So there's something that's card 31, but it's also 4, which is 2 and 2. And so I feel like the significance with that as well. And as I said, I'm going to keep going, but I am. This is the feeling of defining of kind of what your value in life and how you define your value. So is it through the partnerships that you have? Is it through the kind of the relationship with yourself, the self-love, or what does that look like? Or maybe it's part of the experiencing the past with people and healing through those things. But I feel like whatever this is, it really feels strong for you that this is kind of the next step for you. And this is really like, this is how you're going to show up in the world. And you're going to, it's, you can't help but see the money here, the abundance there. That's how you're showing up in the world to represent and make money and do your thing. Now this one just fell out here. I'm going to take it because it fell out, but the Sun card. And so quite beautiful as attached to that. Card 10, card 19, 10. And the significance of the sunflowers there, I feel like I really want to call that out. This is you just being in that space and really sort of shining your light. Oh, this feels so good. Spirit is just all about right now what's happening with you and acknowledging that this is all part of the process, and just know that this shift of what you're feeling, don't feel bad about it. It's all part of the human experience. And some of you, I would say not just don't feel bad about it, but also right on, good for you, because you are getting into this space where you're releasing these things that no longer serve you, and you're stepping in and doing that hard work of the second chakra. The second chakra, the last 3 chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, when you can get those into a good space, it is my experience that life becomes extremely abundant for you. There's something about those 3 areas where we really hold our past. A lot of this comes from your childhood. A lot of this comes from ancestral. And so I'm not, whenever people talk about ancestral curse, don't believe any of that. But it's because, okay, sorry about that. It stopped recording as I was on my tangent here. So, and as it regards to ancestral curses, I always took that as being kind of like, ooh, this woo-woo, like, you know, sometimes you'll have psychics that maybe, you know, not of the highest integrity making comments like that and saying, oh, I can get, you know, I can do this and remove the energy. So I always immediately would like cringe when I'd hear that word, because I'm like, please don't say things like that. But it is my understanding through a reading I've done recently with an individual, their spirit family had communicated to me that really what that means is that it's sort of when we come into this life through each generation, these as spirits coming into human form, we are subjected to sort of the evolution of the human journey. And so again, I'm getting massive chills, back to where they're talking about Salem, where they were at then and where they're at now. This is, you're coming through this doorway of a new earth, a new beginning, a new life, and you're releasing all of this stuff that no longer serves you anymore. This is very strong for you, releasing it and being okay with that. But you're doing it in a way that represents your ancestors. Like you're evolving as a soul, but you're evolving humanity as a result of that. And so it's just beautiful. I can't, I hope someone understands the extent of how powerful this is, and really where you're at and what you're doing and how meaningful that is to humanity. And so kudos to you. Oh, I just got chills big time. Oh yeah. So someone's really wanting to honor you and acknowledge the work that you're doing. Gosh. Oh, I love it. Whew, I could just sit in this energy all day. All right. Okay, so let's see what else here Spirit has to say. One last card in terms of Spirit, what final messages do you have for Sagittarius? As I'm saying that, I'm getting, my heart's warming a lot right now, and that's just when I have like strong spiritual energy coming forward and on like the deepest level to acknowledge you. Okay. Yep. And so this is really everything I was just saying about finally releasing these beliefs that have held you back. If you can see that here. And again, this isn't just beliefs that have held you back. This is beliefs that have been a part of your sort of human DNA. A lot of times we talk about like DNA and the things that like, oh, well, that's part of my, you know, DNA, or it's my genetics. Absolutely not. You have the capability in which to break through this lifetime and achieve it for your spirit family. I'm so blown away right now by the intensity of spirit for you, and I'm so thankful and honored that I listened to them and went next for you and did this message for you, because this is just beautiful, and this just shows when you trust spirit, they'll deliver, because I feel very strong about what's coming. But this is really about you sort of letting go of these things, these old beliefs that no longer serve you, and the attachments of what those look like there. So, all right, so I'm going to do one more. For funsies, I'm going to do this Halloween tarot. Bear with me. These are kind of like the Rider-Waite format, but they do have like the bats and pumpkins that are just kind of a new concept. So we'll see what just general themes. I feel like I want to end right there, but I'll let Spirit kind of pull in one more. And they're telling me 2, so that's fine. I'll honor that. Oh, death. Okay. Well, that, you know, kind of speaks for itself there. What that one says. And so let's see what other one here. All right. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, 2 of Ghosts. Okay. Wow. Okay. So the death card, that's kind of obvious, right? In terms of what that is. That's kind of the death, the new rebirth. That's amazing. It's all of really what you're going through, what I feel like the energy is coming in for you. The other thing, so we've got the Ghost cups here. So I'm sorry, it's a 2 of Ghosts, but they're representative of cup cards. And so that's Pisces. That's the water signs, right? So you've got it's not necessarily Pisces, but it would be any of the water signs. And so you've got it could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, any one of those. It could be in regards to a relationship. It could be in regards to partnerships. And so there's something, a rebirth, a death that's occurring, but it's in a positive, it's a very positive message. I mean, you can see that they're kind of, they're embracing each other here. But, and if you look, the snake, there's this, I use this reference oftentimes as it comes to shedding of the skin with the snake. And so I think I mentioned that in one of the other videos, but that's what Spirit gives me a lot in terms of kind of that rebirth. And I mean, that goes along the lines of death, right? Your rejuvenation of a relationship, of whatever's happening here. So beautiful. I love it how Spirit just speaks in so many ways. So, all right, let's pull a final funsy affirmation card and see what Spirit has to say here. All right, let's see. Spirit, what final affirmation do you have for Sagittarius for the month of October? Okay. All right, forgiveness. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Let me see, you can see that here. Forgiveness. Congratulations, you are being given one of the most powerful superpowers there is, forgiveness. Imagine that you've been bitten by a radioactive forgiver. The point is, you suddenly have the ability to forgive people for their flaws, their bad days, their unkind moments, and their mistakes. And the best thing about forgiveness is that it can apply to yourself too. Have fun wielding your new power, but remember, with great forgiveness comes great inner peace. Oh, I love that card. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius, I'm so excited for you and your reading. Oh, I love it. This made my day. It's so beautiful and powerful, and I just feel so good and happy. And I could probably keep going on because I feel like I'm getting a lot more energy, but it's all this sort of high vibing energy for you. And it just feels so super, like superpower energy. Like it's happening. Like, I just want to like clap. I want to celebrate for you right now. I just feel like it feels so good. Oh, I'm getting so lightheaded right now. And that's just Spirit raising my vibration to connect with the energy of what's coming for you. So I do hope you have an amazing October. It looks like it. Things are coming. They're happening for you. This is all part of your purpose and your path, and I'm so excited. And please let me know if it resonates for you. If you like the reading, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm so excited to continue on with my channel and just expand. I'm meeting a lot of great people through the channel. So I just thank you all for your support, and I wish you many blessings for October. Namaste.